Hello everyone, my name is BearTen and today I want to tell you about one of the most unusual and ingenious puzzle games of recent years, the game Baba Is You. Don't be surprised by the title, you will soon realize why it fits this game perfectly. To start with a bit of backstory, at the IGF 2010-18 Independent Games Festival, Baba Is You made a real sensation. It won awards for Best Student Project and Best Design, and could have even won the top prize if it hadn't been beaten by Night in the Woods. Fans of indie games were immediately interested in this strange puzzle game, and the subsequent announcement of a Nintendo Switch version brought even more attention to it. And you know what? Absolutely deservedly so. If watching the trailer makes you think it's something special, once you start playing it, you'll simply fall in love. This is one of the clearest examples that, despite the general skepticism, it is still possible to come up with something fresh and unique in the puzzle genre. Baba Is You is a bit like The Witness, where the same mechanics are used for dozens of hours, but the conditions are always different, as are the ways to solve the puzzles. In The Witness, all you do is draw stripes on the plates, trying to connect one circle to another. In Baba Is You, everything is similar, though the idea is completely different. So, what's the point of the game? Here you don't draw mazes, but move objects and words around the screen. The game is completely based on composing phrases from several words scattered around the level. Usually they are connected by the verb is, without which the object has no characteristic. For example, water is sink means that if you step on a cell with water, you will drown. And Baba Is You indicates that at this level you are controlling a sheep-like creature named Baba. At times like this, what's going on feels like an amazing blend of Sokopan's visual programming and logistics. The game looks, to put it bluntly, unkempt. The game levels are filled with schematically drawn environment and blocks with words, between which an incomprehensible creature on 4 legs, not a horse, not a dog, runs. The animal can do nothing but push the very blocks with words. It would seem that what can be invented with such a meager set? In fact, a lot. The gameplay is remotely reminiscent of projects like Human Resource Machine and Shenzhen.io, which stand out due to the programmer's overtones. The main objective is to reach the flag, but you can do it in different ways. A solution that helped to pass one level may not be suitable for the next one because of some new condition. New possibilities and limitations are constantly popping up, and time after time you want to give up because it's not clear what they want from you and how it can be solved at all. And then, when you take a break and come back in the morning, you solve the riddle from the first time and wonder how you didn't guess such an elementary solution earlier. There are situations when you have to fight with the initial levels of some zone for a couple of hours, but the final locations on the same territory are passed in a flash. Sometimes you have to change the main character to solve a puzzle. Instead of the word Baba, put cog or key, and now you can control a gear or a key. Later the word and appears, thanks to which you can build phrases like wall and door is stop. It means that you can't pass through walls and doors. To cancel this rule, it is enough to move the word is or stop, making the phrase meaningless. Ultimately, a condition ending with is win must be met. If it is flag is win, you have to touch the flag. If skull is win, you have to touch the skull. Of course, nobody gives unlimited freedom here, otherwise the riddles would have dozens of solutions. Very often some conditions are put in the far corner, so it is simply impossible to move them and remove some words. Often they are hidden behind walls or pipes, but sometimes they are not surrounded by anything. You can bring an interjection and a characteristic to a noun to achieve some new effect. It's important to realize that sentences work both vertically and horizontally. You can use one word Baba to build the phrases Baba is you and Baba is float, and then the lamb you control will fly above the ground and will be able to move freely over dangerous objects. Each level impresses with its original use of mechanics. It seems that you have already figured everything out, you know what phrases do what, but suddenly you are presented with a new interjection or noun and you have to play by completely different rules. That's why the game doesn't get boring. You never know what went through the mind of its creator. Baba Is You also does not shy away from mocking the player, testing his attentiveness. For example, one of the first levels, running in a limited space, may seem insurmountable, but it lacks the usual condition wall stop. It is worth noticing it, as the level stops seeming so tight and blooms with new colors. Difficulties will start to arise quite quickly. Everything, of course, depends on your intelligence and luck, but after about the 15th puzzle, you will not finish the levels with the 3rd or 5th attempt. You will have to look carefully at the screen, think over the plan of action, study what and where you can move, whether the walls will not interfere, whether the logic will not be broken. A decision that seems silly can lead to success, and sometimes you start to get wise when everything is actually much simpler. Every time you see the congratulations sign, you're glad you didn't give up. And of course, going through games like this with hints is a bad idea. Baba Is You rewards experimenters for their attempts to combine words in different ways to achieve victory on their own. Restarting a level is a couple taps away, and actions can be undone with a single button, rewinding time backward. 200 puzzles are scattered across several worlds. To get access to a new world, you only need to solve a part of the puzzles, and when completing a level, you usually unlock not one neighboring one, but 2 or even 3. So, if you get stuck somewhere, you don't have to suffer, you can do another episode and return to the previous one later. Although you can't abandon everything halfway through, new locations on the map won't open. In addition, some episodes have complicated versions. They look identical, but one condition has been changed or a word has been removed, making it impossible to complete them using exactly the same methods. The game gets more complicated over time, adding more and more variables to the original formula. To the already familiar is block, new ones like AND are added, which allow you to give one object several properties at once, and this opens up a whole new layer of possibilities. The only thing that can discourage from Baba Is You is its unsightly appearance and price. If in Steam for the game is asked for a purely symbolic amount, on Nintendo Switch it costs quite expensive, which does not fit in with a simple, if not to say primitive, visual style. The closest analog in this regard is Undertale and its sequel Deltarune. On the other hand, the excellent soundtrack gives Baba Is You a charm that many blockbusters lack. Despite its originality and quirkiness, Baba Is You is not destined to win a large audience, it will not be nominated for Game of the Year, and the foreign press was not interested in it before the release, despite the very prestigious awards. Although we won't see anything more innovative and unusual in terms of gameplay until January, Baba Is You will remain for many people a cool indie that someone heard about somewhere. However, just hearing about it is not enough. It's advisable to try it out yourself and recommend it to your friends, so that together you can solve puzzles, share experiences and marvel at the possibilities. And yes, the game constantly hints that you are not as smart as you think you are, but that just adds to the excitement. In conclusion, Baba Is You is one of the best puzzle games of the last few years, incredibly inventive and introducing a pleasant stupor. However, like anything that lacks unnecessary detail, it is absolutely beautiful. The game is entirely devoted to one activity, solving unique brain-twisting puzzles. This is an incredibly exciting test for the brain, as the game regularly pushes you beyond the usual limits, teaches you to pay attention to unobvious little things and look for the meaning where in normal conditions it can't be. And believe me, having launched it before going to bed, you can only come to your senses with the dawn. That's all for now, guys. If you like this review, don't forget to put a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, write in the comments if you've played Baba Is You and what puzzles in general you like. With you was BearTen, thanks for watching, bye.